Killed, 6 injured in the middle of the day. We have team coverage as this story develops in just a minute. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Lemanchek alongside Jason Hackett.
Well, right now, we're also on scene of another deadly shooting in downtown Minneapolis. That one just happened. We're going to tell you what we know straight ahead. But first, let's get outside to John with a look at your forecast. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, it's a darker start here at 6 o'clock. Losing 3 minutes of sunlight a day now, so it's going to happen very quickly over the coming weeks. There you go, 60. Dark out here at 6. We are at the feels like it's 60, 50-degree dew point. Still pretty dry. It's a gorgeous start to the day around the metro. 52 in Princeton. You guys had some 30s earlier on. Same with Osceola. You're at 50. Heading to the north. See how it's warmer up here in Grand Rapids. It's actually a cold front coming in. Remember, the cloud cover in the morning, that keeps you warm, but it cools you down in the afternoon. South winds and sunshine here in the metro, no problem. We're going to warm up great heading to the State Fair. 60 to 77 degrees today. An absolutely stunning day. Now that's in the metro. I think outside of the Twin Cities, whether you're Mankato or you're Brainerd, we could have storms later on tonight. We'll time those out for you in your forecast coming up. Cece, good morning.
Good morning. The morning commute has started, 6:01. Hope your day is off to a great start. Things are picking up going into downtown Minneapolis and out of downtown Minneapolis, but not seeing major slowing around the metro this morning. When I do see you over the next hour, I will be talking about some trouble spots that we start to see because of construction and where those backups will be over the next hour. And also head over to 94 for some morning work that could slow you down around 9 o'clock. Jason.
Cece, thank you very much. Let's turn back to our breaking news this morning. Minneapolis police continue their search right now for the suspect in yesterday's mass shooting in broad daylight.
And we have just learned police are now also on the scene of another deadly shooting, one of at least 3 in a 12-hour span. This one in downtown Minneapolis. Here's a live look at the scene. It's at 8th Street North and Hennepin Avenue. Police just told us in the last 90 minutes, one person was killed and another was injured. They say they will share more information later this morning.
Now, yesterday's mass shooting happened just before 2 p.m. yesterday and killed 1 person and injured 6 others in South Minneapolis. This was at 29th Street East and Clinton Avenue, right behind Cristo Rey Jesuit High School, where school was in session.
Yeah, we have team coverage on the overnight developments. Michelle Beck is hearing from witnesses. But first, Audrey Russo is live at the police station with what we know right now. Audrey.
Lauren, Jason, right now there's every indication that this suspect is still on the loose. I did a search of the Hennepin County jail roster in the last 30 minutes, and from what I could tell, no one has been booked apparently on this crime in the last 12 hours or so. I have reached out to Minneapolis police for an update on their search, and they're searching for the suspect who they say opened fire on a group of people yesterday afternoon, killing 1 and hurting 6 others. Now, you can see the moments of chaos captured on dash cam footage as they were unfolding. Police say the suspect escaped in a getaway car, but they did not release that vehicle's description during a news conference yesterday. They did, however, say that the suspect used a high-velocity .223 rifle whose rounds can even pierce bulletproof vests.
Certainly, it's obvious from the injuries that people suffered here, just the significant damage that those types of rounds can do to the human body. It's gross.
Now, O'Hara said that it was clear from the evidence that this group of people, at least one person was targeted out of that group. Exactly why, though, that is still unclear. And of course, the investigation is going to have to unfold to reveal more of those details. Back to you.
Yeah, we'll be hoping for updates from Minneapolis police today. Audrey, thank you. Now, this shooting had neighbors jumping into action to help the victims.
Yeah, Michelle Beck continues our team coverage with how they're reacting this morning. Michelle.
Well, hey there. We heard neighbors describe a nightmarish scene where one victim was on the ground and another was running for their lives. This chaos was all in broad daylight. You can imagine how on edge one woman felt knowing her son works at this very AutoZone a mere block away from the shooting. Another neighbor told us through an interpreter he was actually there. Jonathan Garcia and his friends, along with his 1-year-old, were getting something to eat when they heard at least 20 gunshots, followed by screams.
That's when he saw one person shot in the arm and she kind of had like her skin kind of hanging off. And then another person shot here and another person shot in the leg. Yeah. So they were able to help the lady that was running that was shot in her arm because she came running right here screaming for help. And so they just tried to help her the best they could, and they got an ambulance to her as soon as possible.
Really gruesome details there. Well, the woman who Jonathan helped is now one of 6 people in the hospital. As for the shooter on the run, Jonathan says he saw a man running away. Back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Well, Minneapolis police are also investigating a deadly shooting less than a mile from the mass shooting scene off 3rd Avenue South and East 27th Street. This video's from just before our 10 p.m. newscast, about a block off the U's West Bank campus. Police say 1 person died in this shooting. Right now, they don't know if the shootings are related. And we will continue to monitor these situations on air and online. You can watch us on KARE 11 Plus right now, our streaming app for your TV. Download and watch for free.
The time now 6:06, and the results are in for 2 special primaries that could shake up the Minnesota Senate. In Senate District 47, State Rep Amanda Hemmingson Yeager won over Representative Ethan Chaw with over 80% of the vote. Former State Senator Nicole Mitchell resigned that seat last month following her felony burglary conviction. Hemmingson Yeager will face Republican Dwight Dora, who ran unopposed. Now, in Senate District 29, results show Michael Holmstrom Jr. beat out 2 other Republicans vying for the nomination. That seat, which represents parts of Hennepin, Meeker, and Wright counties, opened up when Senator Bruce Anderson died suddenly. Holmstrom will face Lewis McNutt, who is the only DFL candidate to run for the seat. Both general special elections will take place on November 4th.
This morning, incriminating evidence at the trial of a former Minnesota Teacher of the Year accused of having sex with a 14-year-old student. In court yesterday, the prosecution played a phone call the victim's mother recorded of her confronting Abdul Wright.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you. I'm begging you from the bottom of my heart. I ain't never did no shit like that before.
As you just heard in that phone call, Wright is crying and begs the victim's mother not to go to the police, admitting to the accusation. In the last 24 hours, the now 22-year-old victim testified she feels Wright groomed her, adding he had a sexual relationship with her for about a year. Wright decided to let a judge decide his fate instead of a jury. That verdict could come down as early as next week.
This morning, a conviction for the Wisconsin man who faked his own death and left his family to meet a woman overseas. In the last 24 hours, a judge sentenced Ryan Borgwart to 89 days in jail. That's the exact amount of time he misled law enforcement about his whereabouts. Borgwart admitted to faking his drowning while kayaking. He fled to Uzbekistan last August, leaving behind his wife and 3 children. He says he left his kayak in Green Lake and then took a bus to Canada and then got on a plane. The judge also ordered Borgwart to pay a $30,000 fine to cover the cost of their search for him.
Taking a look at the U.S. Futures Board now in the green this morning, just 7 hours after President Trump hit India with a 50% tariff. This comes weeks after Trump implemented a 25% baseline tariff on Indian goods. Now, this latest round seeking to punish the country for importing Russian oil and helping Russia finance its war with Ukraine. All of this sparking fear in India that the tariff could take a huge toll on businesses.
There will be job losses. And it's very painful that, these are people who hardly make $300 a month. This is worse than COVID.
India's leaders have signaled that they will retaliate against Trump's tariffs, the country's prime minister vowing to protect the country's farmers and small businesses.
We are live inside the KARE Barn this morning here at 6:09 at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Quiet in there now, but John and I are bringing the party in about 4 hours. We're heading out for another round of trivia. The topic today is Timberwolves and Lynx, and there's going to be some great prizes. We're going to get that going shortly after 10 at the corner of Judson and Nelson. We're also going to be joined by Miss Minnesota Teen USA, Maisie Adams. She is a great advocate for inclusivity and people living with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So looking forward to talking to her about her mission and all she's trying to accomplish. It should be a good time.
Yeah.